Welcome students, teen parents, and those of you who've just come to visit with us. Thanks for coming. We're going to wait a couple more minutes to see if some more people will join, maybe 2 minutes. So please be patient with us. We'll be with you shortly. You're going to be hearing us talk from now on, but we're just kind of still talking to ourselves about the last minute things we're going to do.
Sorry. Please silence all cell phones.
Or should we double check that they can hear? Like in the chat box?
Yeah.
Turn your volume up.
Just ask them to say hi if they hear you.
Well,
If you can hear us, would you please send us a chat? Down at the bottom, you will find a place where you can chat. Where is
Yes,
that?
I can hear you.
Okay, some
Nelson
more?
said he can hear.
Thank you for
You're
letting
welcome.
us know.
They can hear us.
About 1 more minute, and we're not usually this quiet.
double check if it's recording.
We're going to do that.
Go to the bottom, the green, to the far right. And when you pause or stop, so that means it's all good. I think they have you do a wonderful job.
And there's 6 people? Or does that mean there are 6 choices? That's what it means. There are 6 participants.
Are they already sharing the screen?
She's signing in as this.
What did I hit? 'Cause I did, my first one I didn't find. The last one, I shared screen and I could see it and go through it, but they weren't seeing it. It just didn't slow visual. So what did I hit wrong? Because there's a couple options for share screen.
Yeah, maybe it
I'll
was on
figure
the
out for you
wrong
next time.
screen that you were sharing. Maybe you were sharing the Zoom meeting.
Oh, maybe.
icon
Okay.
or, you know,
Okay, so we're going to start now. Can you all see the screen?
Oh, they can hear you, so they're saying yes.
Okay. We have prepared this presentation for teen parents and anyone else who wants to be involved in this. Because we do have a lot of students who are teen parents and they're having struggles with going to school. And so we want to try to help them. We did that by sending out a survey asking for their input. And so we have your input, and that's what this PowerPoint is going to show you, all the input that was given by the students who participated in the survey. 7 students responded to the survey. They were all moms, although I know we do have some dads who are student dads who actually are raising their children. The children range in age from 1 month to 2 years old, not including the baby who's due in 2 days. And that young woman has the 2-year-old. Only one of the parents is expecting another child, and that is her. You will see down here in the lower corner of every, and it won't always be in this corner, sometimes it'll be over here. You'll see 2 places that you can go for immediate assistance, okay? And we'll talk about those at the very end of the presentation. So we asked how many parents needed, how many classes they needed to graduate. And 3 of them said between 12 and 29 classes. The rest, that would have been 4 more students, were unsure about how many classes they needed to graduate. 4 babies live with both their birth parents and 3 do not. 5 moms and dads have parent or other support and 2 do not. 3 moms have jobs outside the home, 4 do not. So now we're going to start with the questions that we asked those who participated in the survey, and these are their answers. So what is the hardest thing you have to do as a parent? While we're talking about this, because now the success coaches, and Mrs. Bishop is here as well, are going to participate in answering some of these questions for you. But if you have suggestions or questions, please send them through chat and we will try to answer them as we go along. Otherwise, we'll answer them at the end. So the first one, the hardest thing to do as a parent is take care of the baby by myself. Input from anybody here? Remember, you have to speak here.
Yeah, we understand that it's really difficult to manage time while raising a child. Infants, they're just very needy. They don't do much, but they do cry a lot and they don't sleep a lot, you know, and when they sleep, most likely you want to sleep. So as they get a little older and as they're growing, coming up with a schedule for your child will help you work, okay? So with that, always remember, just you have to breathe. You have to, it's okay to put the baby down for a moment in a safe place and step away for a moment and even just brush your hair, you know? So that's my advice there.
That was Miss Ann Benaquisto, thank you. The next one, it's hard to be patient with my child.
This is Mrs. Bishop. I totally understand this one. I have a 6-year-old and I remember when she was little and I just wanted to go on my regular routine. Well, now I have this child that is part of my routine. So the biggest thing, again, like Miss Ann said, is to breathe. You physically need to stop and calm yourself. I still do this to this day, and I'm 37 with a 6-year-old, so, and I'm not in school anymore, but I still do this. You have to take time. Again, put the baby in a safe spot, you know, maybe a playpen or a bouncer. Just give them a minute and give them something to play with and take time for yourself. And that's going to calm yourself, and then it'll give you time to think more reasonably. So definitely just as easy as, it's not as easy as it says, you know, but just breathe and stay calm on your own. And that the baby will feed off of that too. So if you're calming down, the baby will automatically pretty much kind of feed off of your demeanor and your attitude. So do your best to breathe.
And I guess that goes along with the next one. One mom said, getting everything done that I need to get done at the same time I am taking care of my child is hard to do. And I think breathing is probably a really good idea. Take a deep breath and try to calm yourself. Do you have any questions? Getting up at night. Whoa, okay. Who wants to take this one?
I know.
It ends. It will
does.
end. Those crazy all-nighters will end is the main thing. And if your baby's safe and if your baby's safe and not hurt and just crying for 5 or 10 minutes, that's okay. They're gonna survive through that, right?
Yeah, make sure they're clean,
Yeah.
that their diapers are changed,
Yeah.
and that they're fed, and then just comfort them, and again, breathe while you're going through it, because they're going to feed off of your emotions. So
Yes.
yeah, and again, it all comes in phases, so it does end. In the moment, it feels like it never will, even if it's for a couple weeks, you know, they're having a rough, you know, time at night, but it does end. It really does.
And as you're raising them, setting that schedule for your child will help you set a schedule for yourself. So it's not going to happen overnight, but daily routines, nightly routines will help your child get on a schedule and know what's coming, know what to expect throughout the day. And that way you can make more time for your schooling and or laundry or vacuuming.
And we'll talk a little bit more about scheduling in one of the upcoming screens. So, because I know Mrs. Benaquisto's mentioned it a couple times, so that tells you how important it is. One of the moms said the hardest thing for her was supporting her daughter and managing school, as well as her mental illness and looking for a new place to live. Making time for anything other than her child. I would want to just spend all my time with my child, so I can understand that. But I'm not a mom, so the moms are actually doing the speaking to you.
Again, it does go back to making time for yourself by giving your child a little more independence and letting them have a little time on their own. Therefore, you can take a minute to go to the bathroom by yourself, or you can take a shower by yourself. Again, making sure they're safe. You know, you want them somewhere they're not going to get near stairs or anything that's going to harm them. But at the same time, they need their independence. They need to feel like that they're safe. It's okay if they're not in your arms all the time. So giving them a little bit of that space to get things done. And again, it all goes to phases. So, you know, the first couple months are tough because you're adjusting just as much as they are. But then keep in mind, you know, the next month, okay, maybe they're going to want to sit and look at their toys for a little bit and give you a little more time. So it does start relieving as they get a little older.
And as far as finding places to live or managing your mental illness, depending on the ages of our students, caseworkers are amazing people to work with. We as success coaches have a lot of resources. So if you need help finding something that's going to make your life a little easier, we can definitely walk you through that. And as Ms. B said, we're going to explain how to use 211 and the helping hand as a resource. I have been using these and they're amazing. You can find a lot of different people and organizations that can help you.
And so another parent even said, managing my time. Again, we will be talking more about that in an upcoming slide, unless someone has something they want to add to it now. What are 3 questions you have as a new mom or dad? I can answer the first one. What's the easiest way to put the baby to sleep? I can answer it because the mom's already told me this yesterday. Rock the baby to sleep. You can always turn the vacuum cleaner on and vacuum the floor because the lulling sound of the vacuum cleaner sometimes helps put babies to sleep. But what are some other suggestions you have?
Well, it's the routine again. It's, you know, bathing the baby, depending on the age. You can read to a newborn. I read to my son since 1 day old. You know, sit down, calm the house, calm yourself, calm your baby, and try to stick to the same routine so the baby's gonna know, oh, look, mommy lotioned me and mommy put some clean jammies on me and I have a fresh diaper and I'm fed. Oh, now we're gonna start rocking and the lights are gonna dim. They're gonna know. It does. They follow your lead.
Yep, I think routine is crucial. And again, I know we keep saying this and you're kind of probably confused, but routine there's not a right or wrong routine. It's more or less what works for you. So if you feel like around 8:30, for example, it's a good time that your house does kind of start calming down, then make that the baby's routine. And even if you're not bathing every single day, because you got to be careful with their skin, but you want to maybe, you know, put some lotion or like Ms. Ann said, and get them in that routine of, you know, okay, you're gonna read a book or whatever your routine is. Just be consistent because, you know, just as much as they like consistency, you know, obviously adults do too. So we know it's to be anticipated. So just creating your own routine and then kind of sticking with it as best as you can.
The next 2 questions show how concerned you as a parent are about your performance as a parent. The first part is, am I doing good enough?
You do the best you can.
Yes, yeah.
Babies need love.
Mm-hmm.
Babies need to feel safe. And then babies just need to be fed and kept clean. They don't need a lot more than that. So you do your best. You love that baby with all your heart, and that baby's gonna love you with all his or her heart.
Yep, it's not about the things you have for them.
Right.
It's about making sure that they're safe, that they're kept clean, and that they are fed. And the basics, honestly, are what's most important. So doing that, and if you need help doing that, again, that's when you reach out to your success coaches or your teachers. We have so much support here. So if you're confused, like, okay, well, I don't know where I'm gonna get food, or I don't know where I'm gonna get new pajamas, then you reach out. That's, you know, those are the things that your baby needs. Everything else is pretty much, you know, just extras, but so you're doing well if you're keeping them safe and clean and fed. And if you can't do those things, then that's when you reach out. So that way we're making sure that's all done for them.
And diapers is a hard thing for you guys. We have great resources for getting free diapers too. So we can go into that later too.
Okay. The next, I'm gonna skip the next one. The next question that's a real concern is, would she be better off without me? Moms. The student's asking if her baby would be better off without her.
So this is Mrs. Jansen's. I'm a program developer here and help the coaches. First of all, take care of yourself because you can't take care of your baby if you're not taking care of yourself. So if you're having some serious issues mentally and you're concerned for your baby's safety, then find somewhere safe for that baby to be. And then take care of yourself. That's first important. You can't take care of your baby if you're not taking care of yourself. And as far as if you love that child and you're able to give them those basic needs, then yes, you are taking care of your child. That's all they need is love, and then food, shelter, warmth, cleanliness, medical care when they need it. So yes, you are good enough to take care of your baby if you can give them those things. If you're really struggling mentally, and I know that that's very common for young moms, and don't think you're alone. If you are struggling, then you need to find help for yourself and ask someone to care for your baby until you feel strong enough to take care of them yourself. Okay?
Thank you, Mrs. Jansen. I think you hit on the last one. Are the feelings I have normal?
Absolutely. And even not even just for young moms.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us moms here, we've had those moments where we're like, oh my gosh, am I doing this right? So don't think you're alone in that. You are absolutely not alone. They're totally normal feelings. Talk to someone, talk to other moms, reach out to us here at MVA. We have our moms group that we have, and all your coaches have resources too. So always reach out before anything, and because you have to take care of yourself mentally and physically and emotionally before you can really take care of your baby.
And I want to go back now to the questions I skipped. Can I get my own place and support her without help at 17?
That's where the caseworker comes in. And actually, I spoke to you, the one who wrote this. So I know you're in the process of this. So once that happens, we can help you maneuver, and we can help all of you, if you need it, maneuver the system. Once it gets rolling, it's very easy, and it's very beneficial. So yes, you can.
The next question was, will I be able to finish school?
Yes, you
Yes.
you can.
And we success coaches can help you set up goals, and we can help encourage you as often as you need for us to be encouraging to help you finish. You just need to want to. And so talk to your success coach about that, okay? And we'll all be able to help you with that.
And we do find if you communicate with your teachers, you are more likely to succeed. So if you can only talk one day a week at this time, let them know, okay? Communication between student and teacher and or success coaches is paramount to succeeding. And that's all we want you guys to do is succeed.
So one mom said, when will I get my life back? When will I get more sleep? And what is the most difficult stage of raising a baby toddler? One at a time, when will I get my life back?
When you get your life back, you're gonna wish that baby was a baby again, just saying. My coworker said potty training was her most difficult. She has a cold, she can't speak.
I was gonna say the most difficult stage of raising a baby or toddler depends on the baby, because every stage that the baby or toddler goes through, there are new joys that come with that stage, but then there are also challenges that come with that stage. When that stage is over, the next stage comes, and there's new joys for that stage, and then other challenges. So no matter what stage your baby is in, there are so many things that will bring you happiness. There are going to be some things that it's going to be difficult to understand how to get through. But no matter what, you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it.
It's true.
That's the main thing to remember, I think, is they really are all stages.
Yeah.
They will pass. So if your baby's in a tough stage and there's no really, like Mrs. Madigan said, we can't tell you when that is because every baby's different. But it will pass. They will get through it. If they're doing something that drives you nuts and you don't know what to do, trust me, in a couple weeks, they won't be doing that anymore. They'll be doing something else. So just keep telling yourself, I will get this will pass. This too will pass.
It's too short.
I don't know. When they start saying no, how long does that take to pass?
Never.
Never, okay. Probably our moms can look back at their own lives for that answer. This is where the scheduling and multitasking and time management comes in. Scheduling is really important. First of all, the routine for the baby. You know the hours that your baby is eating, sleeping, doing whatever. Those are the times when you probably want to take a nap when they're sleeping. If you could squeeze in an hour's worth of work in school, that would help you. Multitasking, can somebody else answer that? I'm not good at multitasking. None of us are good at
Well, you know, it
multitasking.
depends on what the multitasking is, I guess. If the baby is content, go ahead and set them down and let them be content. You don't have to hold them all the time. So then you can maybe get some work done. And depending on the age of your baby, if they can sit, if you have a playpen or a bouncy seat, and they can sit in that and they're content, go ahead and let them. And even if they're not as content as they could be, it's okay for babies to cry a little bit. So multitasking, and honestly, your baby, taking care of yourself and your baby are your first priority. Then you need to look at school. If the floors need to be washed or the dishes need to be done, those can wait. That's always going to be there. There's always going to be stuff like that to do around the house. But you have to make sure you're taking time for your schoolwork after you're taking care of yourself and your baby, because that's the next most important thing, is for you to get that high school diploma, so then you can take care of yourself and your baby for the rest of your life, and go on to other schooling or trades or something. So you have to remember those priorities.
And the last is time management. One of the things about time management that I think is important is that if you have this time set aside for doing schoolwork or doing laundry, you have to do those things whether you feel like it or not during that time, because that's the time you set aside for it. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is later you're going to have more school assignments to do, and then you're going to have more laundry to do, and it's going to take you twice as long because you didn't do them in the first place. We have to this is part of disciplining yourself. So we have to learn how to discipline ourselves to do things that we know need to be done, even if we don't feel like doing it, just because it's part of what we committed ourselves to doing.
I think too, I mean, we know that being a parent is hard, and sometimes you just need a break. We get that. So if you need to sit down and you just need to veg and watch a show or scroll through social media, of course, take that little break, but set a timer. So if you're going to watch a show, tell yourself, I'm going to watch this one show and then I'm going to turn the TV off and I'm going to do some schoolwork. Or I'm going to scroll through social media, see what's going on, set your timer for 20 minutes, and then get back to schoolwork. That's just part of time management is knowing that you can get lost. We can all get lost in social media and it's just, spend hours or, looking at things on the web and searching the internet. We can spend hours and all of a sudden we don't even realize how much time. And you're not alone in that. Everybody has done that at times. I have done that when I'm tired at night. But set that timer so that you say, oh my gosh, I've already been doing this for 20 minutes. It's time for me to get up and do a load of laundry, or it's time for me to go and do one of my lessons in school.
And a mastering a tutorial should take about an hour. So if you could even do 1 hour every single day, that's Monday, all of the way through the weekend, Monday to Monday. If you do one, even just one tutorial and one mastery a day until you get on a schedule to where it's going to be easier for you to do multiple assignments, just one a day. You'll get through it, a little slower, but you'll get through it.
Now, if you have any questions, please remember to chat your questions back to us so we can do our best at answering them. What is the hardest thing for you to do as a student? Probably the biggest response was manage time for school. And we've been talking about this and about how to give yourself a little bit of time for school. The next one is to do the work while my baby is up. And as Mrs. Jansen said earlier, it's okay to put the baby down. And if your daughter or your son is a little fussy, it's okay for them to be fussy for a short time. You don't have to be there holding them every second. You may want to. Your arms may feel empty when you don't have them there, but it's okay. As long as they're safe and they're clean and well fed, they're going to be okay. Get all of my work done before the deadline. And we do have a deadline set by your school district, which is an end of semester. And we do give you our courses in quarters. So you get 3 classes the first quarter and 3 the second quarter, which is 6 for the whole semester, then 6 for the next semester, broken up the same way. So if you do 1 assignment a day, you're pretty close to completing a class a month. But this goes back to time management. If you set aside the time to do it, then you have to do it whether you feel like it or not. The next one is make time to do school and also finding a good time to do it with not having much sleep. Okay, I'm going to let the moms talk about doing necessary things.
Yeah, I think we've already covered those
Yeah.
things in the past few slides, given you some ideas on how you can fit in your schoolwork.
What about sleep?
That too will pass, so you
Yeah.
just have
Yeah.
to kind of tough through it.
Yeah,
It's
so,
exhausting,
and
but
honestly, yeah, you can get some sleep when they're napping, but you just have to make sure you make time for that schoolwork as well. So.
and also kind of keep in mind everyone's situation is different, but keep in mind who you have in your family or your close friend group that are willing to help. So don't be too proud to take help. If someone's offering to take your daughter or son to the park or even come by and sit for a little bit, take advantage of that time to either catch up on some sleep if you have help that you're going to be able to then do work, and or go ahead, jump in, get some tutorials done, get some mastery tests done. Again, kind of, reach out. And then again, too, if people aren't offering, maybe you can ask. Some people just don't think to offer. So maybe you have a close friend that you trust and you know that would do well with your child, then ask him or her, or ask, a family member to help out too. So take advantage of any resources you have.
And that takes care of the last question. Important, get help with your child if at all possible. Yeah, sure. So next page. What can we do to help you better? Most of the responses here were understanding, asking us to be understanding about the fact that you're too busy to get your work done this week. It helps once you are involved in a routine with your child and your other requirements that you have at home. You want us to be understanding again of the things you're behind in. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say that everyone at school, we know that all of the students have lives, have things going on outside of school. We are very understanding when things happen, when work is slower, that's fine. But it's hard to be understanding when work stops. If you can just get 1 assignment done a day, or even if you started one day and you finished it the next day, as long as you're going every day, making some progress, that's what we want. We don't want you to just be at a standstill. There might be days when something happens and you don't get to your schoolwork. That happens to everybody, whether you have a child or not. It's harder when you do have children to look after. But when that happens, it's okay. The next day that you have time, get back in it and just keep moving forward. As long as you're moving, that's what we want. We don't want you to just stand still.
I think to make sure you're staying in communication with us, because if you had a bad day or your baby was sick or you're exhausted because you were up all night and you can't work, we know that happens, but you have to let us know, because if we don't know, then we don't know why you didn't work. And we have to, you know, the state is telling us we have to make sure that you guys are working, because you're on your own, you're online, and we're not seeing you every day. So we have to kind of, by law, double check on, see what's going on, why aren't you working? So make sure you let us know. We are very understanding here. We will go above and beyond to help you, give you resources, give you ideas on how you can, manage your time, but you have to keep in communication with us so that we can help you.
And communication means, hi, this is Ms. Jefferson, making sure that you keep a valid number on file with us from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year, so that we're able to maintain that two-way communication. So please make sure that we have a working number for you as well, and your email address.
Your home address.
Home address as well.
You need to make sure that we have all of your contact data all the time, okay? Someone asked for help planning out an everyday schedule. My response to that is speak to your teacher and or your success coach. We can help you. You need the information about when you can do things and being realistic about what you can do. I mean, don't call and expect to be able to do 5 hours every day right now. That's not going to happen. But be realistic about your expectations. And then when you talk to your teacher or your coach, you'll be able to set a schedule. You probably won't be able to stick to it exactly, a timed schedule, but at least it'll give you an idea of things that you can do. So please ask us for that help. We can help you with that. Okay, and we're more than willing. That's one of the things we're here for. So you see at the bottom of this slide, the secret word for extra credit for watching this live lesson is baby. So you contact your teacher that you would like to have extra credit. You give them the secret word, and they will work that out with you, okay? It's the only place you're going to see that, so please remember that. So I asked, what are your plans for after graduation? One said to go up to online college, so I'm guessing you like the online classes, good for you. I thought this was interesting. One wants to take pastry making classes. I wanted to try to find a picture of that, but that was a little bit complicated. I love that idea. One wants to get a job, 2 want to get an apartment, and one of those wants to go to college, and 2 more of you want to go to college as well. So we also have Mr. Thomas, who is in charge of
Career
in college. I think that is a club. So if you want more information about that, we can put you in touch with Mr. Thomas. He's one of our teachers and mentors, and he's kind of like a jack of all trades. So that would be a good club for you to participate in to help you get the answers for that kind of information. And when do you want to graduate from high school? Some of you wanted to graduate at the end of this school year, 2019. Someone said in 2020. One wanted to graduate when she's supposed to, but we didn't know when that would be. And one said they wanted to take their GED, but scared of their father's reaction. I'm sure that a lot of you have issues with how your parents are going to respond about different things, as well as graduating from school. But if you want to graduate as soon as possible, talk to your teacher or your coach. They will help you set a date that's realistic for the number of classes you have to take. And they'll help set up a plan to contact you to keep you motivated.
Also, if I may add, mentors are a very important component of your support team too. So your mentors will be able to give you the exact number of credit hours you need towards graduation. Although we have access to the number of credit hours you currently have with us and how many you need to graduate, your mentor will be able to tell you exactly which classes you'll need to complete the existing credit hours that you may need to graduate. So please utilize all three of your support systems that you have in place, or we have in place.
The number that you saw across the bottom of the screen, those were help numbers. You can call 211, it's like 911 only, it's 211 for social services. And most of the time, go ahead.
Yeah, 211, you can put in your specific address. If you do not have a vehicle, they need to walk, whether it's to a place that gives out free diapers on this day, or a food bank that you can go and get food supplies. Any resource you need, you call 211. You will speak to an actual person. If you have a vehicle, you can put in the zip, and they will explain it to you as you call. If you need help with this, you can call us and we can call 211 for you also, but that is something you can do. If you have a minute phone, you might want to ask a success coach to help you with that. Just saying. So, but that's a really, really good one. It'll give you everything from mental health issues down to like simply getting free diapers.
One other thing Mrs. Benequisto told me about 211 is that sometimes you will have to leave a message. And so they tell you what information they want you to leave and that they will plan to call you back. And I know for sure that Mrs. Benequisto has many times called and left information, and we got a return call from 211 to help a student. So please make sure that you are willing to call for the help, because they are really very helpful. One of the other places is Helping Hand for the State of Michigan, and it's a web page, and I'm going to just show it to you, hopefully. There it is. Okay, so it helps with more than just the emergency things. It gives you the 211 here. It helps with job and training, unemployment, health, family support, housing. And so when you go to the different pages in the web page, it suggests the different things that you can do, like here's a healthcare coverage. Getting healthcare coverage for children, My Child is a program, I believe it's a Medicaid program in Michigan. All children who are uninsured can and will be covered by My Child up until their 18th birthday.
And that's where if you have your caseworker is going to help you with all those
Paperwork,
Yes,
everything that
they
you
will.
need to.
A caseworker is very important. So if you need help getting a caseworker or don't know how to go about getting one, give us a call.
It will also help you find a free and low-cost health clinic near you. My guess is it's going to ask for your zip code somewhere, and then you can get whatever help you need. So this information, you can look up this website on your school computer, and you can find out all this information. Okay? So I just want you to know that we are here to help you. Thank you for attending. Thank you for responding to the survey. Thank you, coaches, and Mrs. Bishop and Mrs. Janssens and Mr. Schmidt for helping us with the technological stuff that we have to do, so that we can all
Work together.
be here to help you. And now Mrs. Bishop has a few words to say.
One last thing, majority of you have already, not majority, all of you have already gotten an invite to the Parents with a Purpose group, which is a teen club that we're doing. It's going to be run similar to like we did today. A lot more of going back and forth and maybe a little venting. You can kind of tell issues you're having, and
First
we can
tab.
all feed off of each other and give different ideas. And then also we'll have different topics, so different things like car seat safety, different ways to make sure your baby doesn't have, the snowsuits, you gotta be careful with the car seats and stuff like that. So different tips, and then we're all going to kind of work together. I'm also looking into starting a Remind group, so using the Remind app, because it allows for all of us who want to be a part of the group to go ahead and start side conversation. It can be all together as a group, or each parent can talk, like say we start talking about car seat safety, and someone has like an idea about, a neat snowsuit they found that was thinner. Okay, then we can do side groups and talk about where we found it, how much it is, things like that. So it's just a neat way to do a chat, because this is kind of difficult you have to be here live to chat. So kind of just watch your Edmentum messages. I'm going to be sending out some updates, and after the holiday, after Thanksgiving, we'll meet again, and I'm also going to set up all you teen parents that I know of in the Remind group. So let your coaches and teachers know if you want to become part of that group too. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Nice
And
job.
I liked what you said, Mrs. Bishop, about watch your Edmentum messages. You can't do that if you don't go on Edmentum every day. So please make sure that you go on Edmentum every day, and you will see a little red flag in the email envelope. That means you have a message. Actually, I think on your dashboards, it tells right there that you have a message from someone. Make sure you read those messages. They're important. Again, thank you. And this will be available as a recording later today if anybody wants to rewatch it, or you have a friend you'd like to share it with. So we'll be making that information available later. Thank you.